Happy Tuesday morning. Let's talk about the tropics across the Western Pacific today. Of course, follow me on Patreon. We got new updates, and even the look and feel of this update is different than the previous one. So each one of these, I am continuing to make new upgrades. But let's talk about our kind of serious conditions out here, where we've had damage and injuries in Japan from Lupit, specifically across Kyushu, even extending up into Osaka. Watching a new tropical wave east of the Philippines in the Philippine Sea, but overall, might get a little bit of a break here, meaning that I don't think we have any named storm systems in the near future out here across the Western Pacific. So some good news for all of you. But let's talk about the general pattern across our area here with, of course, Lupit, which made landfall yesterday into Kyushu. We have Mirene pulling off towards the north and east, and that tropical wave down here towards the south in the Philippine Sea. I'll talk more about that coming up in just a second. First, let's talk about our tropical systems here. Mirene, which passed off the coastline of Tokyo across some windy conditions. We had Nida, which pushed towards the east, and then Lupit back here towards the west. So boy, this past week has just been busy for Japan with one system after another pushing across country. But Lupit, for sure, having the most serious impacts. Not only bringing the windy conditions and messy weather down towards Taiwan, which we were talking about yesterday, over 1,300 millimeters of rainfall reported from this storm system there. But as it moved towards the north and east, it brought that damage and several dozen injuries out here into Kyushu, Shikoku, and even into Osaka there in Honshu as well. So some pretty serious impacts. These are actually some of the max rainfall reports at a few locations, actually well over 200 millimeters of total precipitation. Not to mention in Tanegashima, a wind report of 115 kilometers per hour there into Kyushu as that storm system came on shore as well. So yeah, I mean, multifaceted impacts here from our storm towards the east and our storm towards the west. Of course, Lupit leaving behind some of that damage out here. And this is just kind of some looks out there into Kyushu. Images gathered by Lex, by the way, at Western Pacific Weather. Makes a lot of these fantastic graphics. All right, let's talk about both of these storm systems and in Japan and the forecast as we look ahead, because of course we still have Mirene off the eastern coastline moving away. Then you still have Lupit now into the Sea of Japan, continuing to sweep in that southerly wind. And that southerly wind's important because that not only brings breezy conditions, of course, near the coast and the moisture and the rainfall that we have been seeing, but it also is bringing in is those warmer temperatures clear in from the tropics, and thus temperatures have been on the rise out here. These are all the prefectures currently under heat warnings at this time. Tokyo, not so much, but surrounding areas there. Yeah, I mean, you got temperatures pushing well over 30, nearly 35 degrees heat indices out here as well. So some pretty serious conditions with that. Meanwhile, we can look down towards the south. Let's talk about the Philippines really quick. Our tropical wave located just off the eastern seaboard here into the Philippine Sea. What we have been seeing is that moisture inflow basically carrying across and parts of Visayas down through northern Mindanao, getting some rainfall for the first time in quite a while. Meanwhile, because of our dissipation of the storms towards the north, we're actually seeing a little bit of a break there across northwestern Luzon, but things are going to change up. I promise you. Let's talk about that. So a little bit of a break there on Sunday over towards Monday, but the deal is that southwesterly wind is still in play. So we're going to start to see those showers continue to kick up by the afternoon hours. This is by about 3 to 4 p.m. Look ahead later into the evening, watching our little tropical wave off the east coast. Most of the guidance does not bring it on shore, nor develops it into a serious storm. But what it's still going to be bringing is that southwesterly flow. So let's scroll this ahead, heading up to Wednesday. This is 3-hour precip, by the way. As it gets further towards the north, it continues to enhance that monsoonal flow for northwestern Luzon. While it pulls towards the north, though, that moisture source that was coming across Mindanao through Visayas starts to get cut off, and you begin to see some drier conditions with that. So just kind of an idea. Basically, just imagine you have that low starting here. It works towards the north. With it, you have that tail behind it. There we go. Let's look ahead Tuesday into Wednesday. There's that tail. That tail continues to sweep in by Wednesday through Thursday for northwestern Luzon. So tracking from south to north. Almost a kind of a front with that river of moisture if you will. So I know that you have had some rain out here. Still could see those afternoon showers, but not nearly as much as you were seeing this past weekend for Mindanao over towards Visayas as well. All right, I do want to show you actually the rainfall accumulation. This is another one of the new graphics that I just created here. Still have to kind of figure out a way to kind of give you exact detail on what these rain totals are, but this does show you the next 96 hours, kind of gives you an idea of that flow towards the north with our tropical wave and that southwesterly wind coming in with the highest rain totals still there from basically Pangasinan all the way up there across region 1 in northwestern Luzon, and even see some scattered showers across the Cagayan Valley, floating down towards Manila. Still some, a few showers down towards southern Visayas, but nothing all too crazy. All right, let's talk about that bigger picture now. Taking a look all across here, there's our wave, maybe another little wave back towards the east. Have a little frontal area setting up too from eastern China down through western Japan. Nothing too serious out of that, but overall that monsoonal flow continuing to dominate. All right, that's today's update, guys. Thanks for everybody on Patreon. I just posted a new update there, and coming up here pretty soon, I'm going to enter everybody that is a Patreon a lottery. I'm going to send you something nice as well. So something to look forward to. All right, anyways, I got to remember, I did the same thing yesterday. For those of you who watch all my videos all the way through, I forgot to end the show, and it went on to a photo Adam sent me in a few days ago. You got in 3 shows. Sneaky guy right there. Anyways, thanks for everybody on Patreon. If you're going to help out, check that out. Hit that subscribe button, of course, and as always, stay safe out there. That's the key thing. Hopefully these new updates, so once we get into a real serious situation, these will be helpful and useful. Thanks for watching.